It's Naja Thomas, counsel for the department. Ms. Bosher.
Hunter Balsher, foster care worker with Catholic Charities.
Michael McFarland, representing Welder.
Margaret Gale, mother.
Good, thank you. All right. Well, do you want to tackle the putative father issue first, Ms. Thomas, or would you like to work through the review first? How would you like to handle it?
We can do the putative father hearing first to get that out of the way.
Who would you like to call on that point?
Ms. Bosher, please. Thank you.
Ms. Bosher, come on up to her witness.
You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, thank you.
Good morning, Ms. Bosher. In this case, there were two named putative fathers. Can you please give us an update as to whether, I know your court report has this, so bear with me, but can you please give us an update as to the contact you've had with those named putative fathers and whether DNA was completed?
Yes, so I was able to collect DNA from Ernest Conway and Markeith, Washington.
And were either of them the biological father of the child?
Neither of them was the biological father.
And to the best of your knowledge, are there any other named individuals that have been reported to you who could potentially be the child's biological father?
Not at this time.
And at this time, are you asking the court to make a determination that the child's father is unknown and cannot be determined?
Correct.
Thank you. And just to clarify, did you review the results with Mr. Conway and Mr. Washington?
I did.
Did you inform them?
Pardon?
I'm sorry, it was a sloppy asked question. Did you inform Mr. Conway and Mr. Washington the results of the DNA test?
To my knowledge, yes. Ernest Conway has been incarcerated back and forth, it seems like. So initially I mailed it to the Detroit jail. Recently, I just got that back as a return to sender. To my knowledge, he's incarcerated at the Lenawee jail, so I just mailed his copy there. Margaret Gale has informed me that she's notified him, and
Okay.
Markeith Washington has been notified via text.
Okay. And did Mr. Washington confirm that he received that?
Yes, he did.
Okay, wonderful. All right, thank you. With that, Your Honor, I have no further questions as relates to the putative father.
No questions.
Questions, Ms. Berger?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Bosher. You may head back to your seats for the moment. All right, Ms. Berger, I'll look forward to, well, before we do that, Deputy Anderson, would you swear in Ms. Margaret Gale, seated by Mr. McFarland?
You can stay seated. Please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Gale, before we get into the review, are there any other names that we should be looking at?
Yes, Draven Morale.
Do you know how to spell that?
I do not know how to spell it. Draven, I believe is the first name.
What did you say the last name was?
Morale, or it's either Morale or Morelli.
Is this the person who lives in this area or somewhere else?
I'm not sure where he lives, where he resides. I do not know.
All right. Well, when you met him, where were you?
Oh, I met him long ago, but I'm saying that he's probably, one of the, could be that, yes.
Well, in order to try to find him.
I'm pretty sure I caught a glimpse of him on the other side of Ryan Soto's property. That would have been approximately a week and a half ago. That would have been Hunt Street. Yeah, Hunt Street is where I saw
In Adrian?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any contact information for him?
I do not. No.
No phone numbers?
Nope. No phone number.
Okay. Did you ever visit anywhere where he was living?
No.
All right.
I know that there was another place on Hunt Street that he rents, that he rented, I guess, through the housing authority that they had kicked him out of because an associate of mine, Bill Burns, said that he was not allowed to go there. That is all I know of that.
Okay.
But I did see him recently on the other side of Ryan's property.
Ms. Bosher, we'll leave it to you to follow up on any additional questions with Ms. Gale to try to look for Mr. Dravian Morelli. Or Draven, sorry.
Mhm.
All right, so we'll continue investigation on the potential putative father. Are there any other names?
Not that I have, no ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Well, does anyone else have any questions for Ms. Gale on this issue?
No, Your Honor.
You know his middle name, date of birth, any relatives around here?
I do not, one relative, I don't know if he is related to Andrew, what is his, I think it's Andrew
You can just
Learn.
supply those to the worker, right?
Yes,
Nothing
I
further.
will, yeah.
Ms. Berger, any questions?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Very well. Anything else on this then before we head into our review? Very well. We'll just continue the putative father hearing until next time. Understanding Ms. Bosher is going to continue to investigate that. Make a note about that. And in the meantime, Ms. Berger, we're ready for your report whenever you're ready.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I was able to meet via Zoom with the minor child and his foster placement. And she reports things are going really well, that he is meeting and exceeding all of his developmental milestones. I was also able to speak with the last placement a little bit and kind of get some updates from her as well, as far as how the child was doing before he was removed from her or placed, I guess, in a different placement. But all things seem to be going really well with him. He's adjusting really well. He's fitting in with the other children in the home. And things seem to be going good with him. He appeared to be happy and healthy. And they are placed, I think, in Jackson County. So I do plan to go out there in person for my next visit, but this last one, like I mentioned, was virtual. So at this time, I'm just asking for another review so we can still see if mom is able to make progress or if we're able to find a legal father.
Thank you. Would you agree that the child is too young to express a preference at this time?
Yes.
All right. Testimony today, Ms. Thomas?
Yeah, excuse me. Thank you, Honor. Ms. Bosher to be are called back. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Bosher, come back up to where we stand, please. Okay, proceed at will.
Thank you. Ms. Bosher, you've prepared a court report for today's hearing. And your cover page indicates that in addition to the court report, there's the trauma screening checklist for the child, a financial worksheet that was completed by Ms. Gale, some drug screens for Ms. Gale, and then the foster care supervised visitation service agreement for her, and then also the initial assessment. Are there any other documents that have been circulated since you've filed that packet of documents for today's hearing?
No, I did notice I didn't add the actual DNA results from the putative father, so I didn't know if that wanted to be filed with the court today.
Okay. Do you have them with you today?
Not on me, no, but I could file them today.
You can just file them with your next court report.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you, because that'll help me keep it straight.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then are there any updates or modifications other than the DNA that need to be made to the court report?
There's some minor updates, yes.
Okay. Can you please go ahead and give those to us?
Yeah, so parenting time, the only update I have is that on January 20th, Margaret received her first unexcused visits with foster care supported visitation. She didn't answer her phone until 3:02, which her visit started at 3. And then she stated that she was 20 minutes away, so the supportive visitation coach canceled the visit. And that's her first of 4 unexcused visits before being discharged from the program. Psychological wise, we're still working on that. Originally, I referred her to Dr. Haugen in Hillsdale. He informed us that he's not taking clients outside of Hillsdale County anymore. So now I have referred her to Arbor Hills in Jackson. And I spoke to her that she would be able to get, or she stated that she would be able to get transportation and that a gas card would be offered to her as well. So we're just waiting for that to be scheduled. The referral's been sent already.
Okay.
Her therapist, Carolyn Mobley, I'm having issues getting records or logs or any documentation from her as well. I've requested multiple times. That's just an issue I'm running into. The substance use assessment has also been an issue. I referred her to CMH. She called and she reported that she does not use any substances, so they can't do a substance use assessment on her. I've asked if I could submit a positive screen, the one that we have, or she should bring it down, but basically they just said they can't force her to do it. So I'm kind of looking for some guidance on that aspect of it. I'm working on doing an updated trauma checklist. I'd like to do one with placement and then another one with mom. And that's all my updates for now.
Where does she receive psychiatric services through?
Dr. Parker,
Is
it's
it?
Ann Arbor, I
Okay.
believe.
Thank you.
It's all just virtual to my understanding.
Thank you.
And during this review period, how would you generally describe Ms. Gale's level of compliance and benefit from her case service plan?
It's hard to say. There's definitely patterns that I'm noticing of her being compliant and then just goes to no communication. I definitely would love to see more compliance and just for longer periods of time.
And given the current, the current circumstances for Ms. Gale, what would you, or how would you describe the child's risk of harm if the child were to be placed in her care?
I think the child's risk of harm would be possible homelessness, possibly being around dangerous individuals, being exposed to possible substance abuse, and lacking from necessities due to financial barriers.
This income report indicates that mom is bringing in or is receiving at least $6,600 a month. Is that correct?
Correct.
And then it says that after debts are paid, her net essentially is $650. Did you discuss the math with her on that?
I haven't, so she filled that out when I wasn't at the office. Our case aide was there to supply that to her. I haven't had a meeting with her about it. We did talk at some point about her attempting to get her bank records and her statements, as that was part of the Housing Help of Lenawee requirements. She did say she would supply me with a copy, but it was going to be difficult for her to get. So I don't know where we are with that, but it hasn't been discussed any further.
And on her income sheet, the financial worksheet indicates that there's employment through home health, but I believe your report indicates that she does not have employment. Did you have any information on that at all?
I'm not sure what that is. Whenever I've spoke to Margaret, she hasn't had employment.
And generally speaking, how is parenting time going?
Good. She loves her kid. There's not much you can do at this age, to my understanding. Just a lot of holding and sitting, but she is working on learning like the necessary skills on as he gets a couple months older, like tummy time and all of that. But generally it's been going good.
Okay, and that's offered twice a week at this point?
Correct.
Okay, and are those just 1 hour visits or are they 2 hours?
Twice a week for 1 hour each.
Okay, and if there was any expansion of parenting time, what would you need to see in place before discussing an expansion?
I think just her participating in every single parenting time. And if not, she has that communication to why she isn't confirming, why she isn't showing up, why she's not showing. I also think just a bit more time in her supportive visitation. I believe it's a great resource, and I believe she's only had 3 or 4 visits with them, and I think we just need more time.
Okay. Is there anything from your knowledge or anything from your court report that you would like to highlight for the court's attention today?
Not specifically at this time.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions, Your Honor. I'd move to admit the court report and its attachments.
Objection.
No objection.
Thank you. They received questions for this witness, Mr. McFarland.
It appears as though parenting time is appropriate, what she's doing, correct?
Correct.
A report that she's not bringing something that she's supposed to bring, correct?
Yes, nothing that's been addressed.
Okay. Traditionally, this court typically gives 3 times per week at 2 hours a visit, so there would be a suitable bond between mother and child. Any problem with that?
I have no problem with that if there's more participation.
Is she supposed to call you so far in advance to let you know that she's going to attend a visit?
Yes,
And is it that she's not calling you and that she's just missed on a couple occasions? Is that what I'm hearing?
yes, there's been times where she doesn't confirm with me and then the visit will be canceled, or she hasn't shown as well. She has confirmed and then not shown.
So are you saying, like, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but do you want her to show a period of consistency and then expand parenting time? Is that what I'm hearing?
That's what I would be looking for, yes.
What kind of consistency are you looking for? How many weeks? 2, 3, 4, what?
I don't have a specific number, honestly.
Well, we'd like to have some kind of idea of what it might, when parenting time might be expanded. We hear that you want consistency. So over what time would you want there to be shown consistency?
I'd say a month would be good.
And as I hear you, she didn't qualify for a drug program of some type because she has self-reported she had no prior drug usage. Did I hear that correctly?
When I spoke to them, they just stated that she reports not using substances, so they can't set up a substance abuse assessment.
Lastly, there's some providers that aren't supplying medical documentation for you. Has my client signed a release for these?
Yes,
So you could ask your attorney to subpoena these, correct?
I believe so.
Nothing further.
Any questions, Ms. Berger?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
Any other questions, Mr. McFarland?
Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Return to your seat. Any other witnesses today, Ms. Thomas?
Your Honor, I'll call Ms. Gale.
All right, Ms. Gill, come on up to our witness stand.
Good morning, Ms. Gale.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you, thank you. Just a few questions. Did you have an opportunity to review the court report that Hunter submitted?
I haven't reviewed it, since I don't know if she's sent it by email. The only thing the reason why I was gonna raise my hand was just to comment on, Central Mental Health, the substance abuse, because I did do a screen for them, and then I guess they reported that I didn't qualify for services that, that was going to be, or that I signed up for family therapy, which is not what I did. And Hunter was like, well, I'll check with them. No, ma'am, I did not review. If there was a recent submit, I have not reviewed it as of yet from
Okay.
Hunter.
So Hunter would have provided it to you last week? Do you recall that?
No, I didn't. No, I don't have that information. I don't have that paperwork, ma'am.
Is
If I did review it, then I don't have that paperwork. I don't know in hand. Hunter,
do you have
Don't ask
access to your
sorry.
do you have access to your email?
I do have access to my email. Which email are we talking about? Because there was a couple emails that I don't have access into. I think the first one was Margaret Gale 88@gmail.com. I don't have access to the 89 one. I have access to.
Okay.
It ends in 89.
There's one that ends in 88, it looks like.
Yeah, I don't have access to that email anymore.
Okay. Your Honor, at this point, if Ms. Gale has not received or reviewed the court report, I'm not sure about moving forward.
Yeah, I inquire for Your Honor, I might be able to resolve this.
If you wish, I mean, if the orders simply, well, our local practice is to provide the report by email. Ms. Bosher probably would be the one we'd look for answers to on that point, although it does look like there's a proof of service that indicates it was emailed out, but it is the 88 instead of 89, but that was provided prior. It's up to you. We can approach it a couple different ways. We can either leave it open for questions at the next juncture, or we can adjourn. Preference, Mr. McFarland?
I have no problems with us proceeding today, so my client knows how she is progressing, and then allowing us the opportunity to readdress this court report at the next hearing, if that's okay with her.
Any objections?
No, I think that's great.
I asked my client if she's okay with that, Your Honor.
Well, Ms. Berger,
Yeah, no objection.
go ahead, Mr. McFarland.
Is that okay with you?
Sure.
Thank you.
Very good. All right. Did you want to ask her some questions then, Ms. Thomas, about?
Yes,
Go ahead.
thank you. Okay, Ms. Gale, in the report, there's an indication that at that point in time, Ms. Bosher was unaware of where you are living. Do you currently have housing or a shelter somewhere?
Right now, I'm staying with a friend right now. I did get approved through the authority to get a 2-bedroom, but did not want to put my name on anything yet because I guess there was some previous concern and confusion about where I was staying. So we didn't want to be like, okay, well, that was where she was residing. Because at one point in time I was staying and even received my bank card at Ernest's previous address, which is actually Sheila Ware. So,
Okay,
no, I have not, but I'm not renting. I'm not legally renting, but yes, I'm staying with a friend right now. And I did get approved for rent with assistance through the authority. Yes, ma'am.
and currently, are you taking medication for your ADHD?
Currently, no, ma'am, I am not. I am not taking medicine for my ADHD at this moment, no, ma'am.
Okay. Are you taking any medications?
I am not. No, ma'am, I am not taking any medications.
Okay. And the income sheet that you worked on, for the
Yes, ma'am.
agency.
Mhm.
Are you indicating that your expenses are $650 a month, or that's all you have left over after your expenses?
I mean, I was a little confused because my mom had sent me a text saying about SunTrust, and actually Truist used to be SunTrust. So I was approximating a couple CDs before they were broken. That is, so basically I'm still getting the 200 a day. So I guess, what is it, like 6,500? That would be like monthly that I'm getting. So I think I filled that sheet out wrong because I was, I didn't know which account they were specifically asking for, because on the sheet at the top, it's like for budget, it says Foster / who else. So I even wrote down, remember when I was confused, I wrote down Selena because I didn't know what I was budgeting, what the budget exactly was for. I'm like, is this just mine or who is this for?
Okay.
So yeah, I was a
And-
little confused doing that. But yeah, no, Truist is my bank. And that is what I received, my funds, my daily funds. I received
Okay.
200 a day in Truist. Yes, ma'am.
What are your expenses per month?
So my expenses are just my daily needs, and then putting money away. So I try to put at least $100 away. And that was, usually that's into a Premier account. So it could be fast food, like today, for example, I did get Burger King. That was my breakfast. So it's about, I mean, I would say I'm not spending like more than $40 a day on food. I mean, I really should be spending less, honestly, but it's about what it is now. I mean, like, even though that's not so super expensive, but I spent $19.23 today just on Burger King. So,
I,
and I can
Ms. Gail-
take that. I'm sorry. Just go ahead. Sorry.
Nope, that's okay. I think the main question here is you are receiving a significant amount of income per month.
Yes, ma'am.
Where is the disconnect between having stable housing and transportation?
Oh, I do have, like, I have transportation. I have many people that can give me rides in there. I don't have a car of my own. Now that's for sure. In terms of actually having a place to rent, like, I have been approved, like I said, but didn't want to be just throwing good money after bad, because not only because I don't want to rent from a landlord who either has passed with Ernest, and that's how sticky that situation was. I mean, but like I said, I can get property in my name. So, like right today, like I can literally have Henry draft up something and he can approve it, and I can actually rent, so that you guys can come and check out my environment as it is now. And if that's what needs to be done, I just didn't want to jump in to something and say, okay, here we are, here I am, I'm stable, I'm renting a place, and then it not be, considered. Just because if it does need to go through the housing authority, which is fine, then they're not doing Section 8 anymore. But yes, I mean, that would be helpful to have 3 months paid for, but it's not necessary because I do have money saved up, if that makes any sense.
Okay. And how do you feel parenting time is going?
I feel it's going great. I really like Megan Spears. I like her a lot. We usually do the lessons, like I'll arrive maybe like 10-15 minutes before we'll start the lesson. And then she'll do her own thing during it while I'm, parenting with Jamil. And then we'll do like kind of a wrap up after the hour, and just, hit the key points of the lesson. Like last time, I think we did empathy. Empathy was like a two course thing. So yeah, it's going really well. I like her a lot.
Okay. And Ms. Gail, when is the last time, what would you consider your sober date?
My sober date. Oh, I mean, I've been sober a long time. I guess for me, I don't even know what to say, because it depends on what you consider a relapse. I mean, I consider if, for me, Wellbutrin is the only antidepressant that's ever really worked for me. I know that my mom and she, I don't really mean to bring her up in court because I get a little emotional about it, but yeah, I mean, when she was on Paxil, I mean, it was literally like she was on, drunk off of her I mean, that's how inebriated it made her. So for me, right now, Parker and I agreed, I'm not on an antidepressant because I don't want that to be misconstrued in court, but I mean, I can't say I don't have a, so to speak, sober date, but I don't use anything, so.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. McFarland?
I know the court, and everybody else is probably doing the math, $200 a day is $6,000 a month, or $72,000 a year. How much do you have saved up?
Probably there's at least 7,000 in one of the accounts. And probably, and I can get that from like when I leave here. I just don't want people to lie and say, well, it was spent on this way. That's like, oh, I don't have business partners, and no, I don't have a job right now. That's very accurate. Thank you, Ms. Bosch.
Have you provided proof that this trust money is coming into your bank accounts?
I tried to go to Cincinnati, and then I got a little deferred from doing that because Mr. Ryan.
My question just to you is, have you
Yes.
provided proof?
I have not provided, no, sir. I have not provided proof yet, no. And I can do that. I can go to Cincinnati, maybe even later today, and get statements from the bank. I can prove that if I need to.
So who is the trustee that's paying you the money?
Oh, my dad.
And
Yeah.
is he local?
No,
Where is
He's
he?
he is in South Carolina.
Can you provide that information to the worker to verify
Yes, sir.
this?
I can.
Just one more question on the finance issue. Since I'm with the public defender's office, is there a reason why you can't afford your own attorney, since we're basically for people who can't afford attorneys?
I can, I guess I could if that was necessary. I just didn't know it was.
Okay. Housing, well, let me ask the parenting time. Would you like to have more than 2 hours
Yes,
per week?
I
twice?
would.
Okay. And did you want to explain why you've missed the visits that you've missed?
I've only missed 2 visits, but yes, I did want to explain that. Basically, for the last visit, I wasn't sure if I was just supposed to be in touch with Megan Spears, because she was like, oh, well, I'm not sure. This was for the visit before that last. She was like, I didn't know if Hunter was still going to be doing the visit given the holiday. I said, well, I don't know. So, because we were still going to do the visit even though it was, Christmas break and Hunter was off. Well, and then basically the last time I was with Mr. Burns, who he is a taxi driver of sorts, and a girl named Courtney Glover, who kind of has a habit of, I guess, being kind of like the yes girl for someone say that's like Ernest, actually Ernest's father. So I'm not really sure if that had anything to do with it, but we were in Tecumseh. So then I get the text from Hunter, and I'm like, okay, well, or I get the text from Megan rather, and I'm like, oh, we're 20 minutes away. We were supposed to be on the way, and then they were parked in someone's yard. So yeah, I missed the visit because of who was supposed to drop me off at the visit. Yes, I don't know if I'm not trying to be like paranoid. I don't know if that was planned on their end, but yes, that is why I missed the visit.
Can you call ahead of time from now on?
Yes, sir, I can.
Do you need help in any portion of your case service plan?
No.
Nothing further.
Questions, Ms. Berger?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, Ms. Gale, I understand you were living at Catherine Cobb for a bit.
For a second, yes, and, okay.
I just was wondering, it would appear that they asked you to leave, is that right?
Yeah, they asked me to leave. This Courtney Glover came in and they said, somebody said, well, you've got to leave because there's a violation of confidentiality. And I had no idea what they were talking about. So I don't know if it was that Courtney Glover came in and they were like, here, this is like I don't know.
Okay.
And because I don't know her like that, but she comes in and they're like, well, you have to leave now. And I'm like, okay, that's just kind of weird. Kind of like, why? You know, so I don't know. And I would say even at this point, if they were going to go that route, and I mean, I have nothing against Catherine Cobb, but it was just kind of weird. I'm like, well, if you really want to get into a violation of confidentiality, then we need to we need to go through that at this point, you know.
All right, any questions based on my questions?
No, Your Honor.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for your
Thank-
testimony. You
yeah.
may return to your seat.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Any other witnesses today?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. McFarland?
No.
Berger?
No witnesses, Your Honor.
All right, I look forward to comments in closing, beginning with Ms. Thomas.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this point in time, I believe that there's still substantial risk of harm to the child if he were to be returned to Ms. Gale's care and custody today. There are a lot of unknowns. I know that we need more information about her services and I guess it's questionable how effective they are considering the testimony we've heard today. The testimony we heard today was really difficult to follow, at times nonsensical, and it's concerning and I think probably difficult for Ms. Bosher to be a caseworker and try to piece all of these incoherent statements together to make sense. Ms. Gale is clearly in a transitional phase and unable to provide that stability for the child at this point in time. It is nice to see some engagement especially through the foster care supportive visitation. It is a wonderful program. It's nice that she is screening. As Ms. Bosher had noted, though, there's some inconsistency. And so I think that through time and being more consistent in services and benefiting from those services, that parenting time could be expanded, but we are asking the court not to order additional parenting time. I think that complying with policy is sufficient and that an expansion of parenting time can be addressed through a family team meeting, but we would like for that to remain supervised. And then as it relates to the putative father portion, we understand that there's an individual that we can attempt to make contact with, and otherwise we'll just ask the court for an alternate service through publication on an unknown putative father, and hopefully have that completed by the next review date, which is something we are also requesting to be held as a permanency planning hearing. Thank you.
Any comments, Mr. McFarland?
Well, the child is young. We are asking for additional parenting time to form a better bond, as young children need to have a great deal of time to bond. I do understand the concern for calling ahead. When we're off the air, I think the court would like to know my client's new email address so she can receive down the road any type of correspondence. I think she's addressed the other issues. Thank you.
Ms. Berger, any comments?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I too am asking for another review period. I would like to see a longer period of engagement, I guess, and some very consistent parenting time and screening just to make sure that we are moving in the right direction here. But like I said previously, this kiddo is doing well where he is, so I would request that he remain there during the next review period. I don't think that parenting time needs to be expanded just yet, but I would be also willing to address that in a family team meeting sometime between now and the next review period, as long as we get some consistency from mom. Thank you.
Thank you. Court finds all interested parties were given notice for purposes of today's review hearing. I do find reasonable efforts towards the goal of reunification are being made, spearheaded, of course, by Ms. Bosher, whose testimony as well as court report clearly identified a number of services and referrals that she's making on behalf of Ms. Margaret Gale, and of course monitoring the child as well to make sure that he's developing appropriately and has all of the services and supports that he needs. There is some engagement by the parent here for purposes of visitation. We're going to need to figure out what the disconnect here is for Ms. Margaret Gale, and why she's, despite a lot more income than many of our parents have, unable to provide a safe or stable environment for herself or her child. At this point, she appears to be continuing to appear at parenting times, although I do see a discrepancy between her testimony today and the reports on visitation. She's missing actually up to 25% of her visits, despite her testimony. She's inconsistent with appointments. She's already missed a supportive appointment. And that's very consistent with some of the observations made by Ms. Nastasia Thomas today, which is that things seem a little disconnected. That's unfortunately continuing to provide a significant risk of harm associated with returning the child to her care. The child is well supported where he's at now. That is certainly the safest and least restrictive environment as we wait for Ms. Gale to establish a safe, regular, permanent environment for herself and her child, including housing, routine. Even if she doesn't need a job, she's got to, I mean, ma'am, you've got to figure out if you want your child back or not, is the bottom line. The child's been removed since September 4th of 2024. And as of today, you have nowhere to live and you've not established any sort of routine or permanency for yourself or your child. So you really have to figure out what you want, because at the end of the day, we're here because of your child, and he's doing well where he is now. That is, as the law says, the safest and least restrictive placement for him right now, which is foster care. We will be looking at permanency planning at our next hearing, meaning will I require the agency to continue to make referrals and try to help you, or will we simply change direction and look at making where your child is living now his permanent residency? I want to be very clear with you today that I need you to do all the things that you say you may want to consider doing if that's what you're being asked to do. I'm not asking you to do anything. What you have here is an opportunity to put your life together so that you can get your son back. If you don't want to take advantage of that, he has a place where he's well taken care of right now. But it's up to you to show the department and to show the court whether or not that's what you want. So I've put the order together with the rest of the court findings, and we'll have our next review and permanency planning hearing on April 15th at 11 a.m. So if you'll be so kind as to wait just a few minutes, we'll get a copy of this order for you so you can take it with you today. Unless there's any questions, that's it for this morning.
What time was that again, Your Honor?
11 a.m. on April 15th.